how can leaders find time for more proactive face time with their employees or their team? Hey folks, I'm Kirk here with practical leadership tips for you and your team. Okay, so you are a leader and maybe you've noticed that you're a little bit fallen behind. You're always in reaction mode. You're always putting out those fires and you'd like to have a more proactive approach, meaning that you want to proactively go in and check on your team. How can you do it? Well, in the short term, until you switch gears a little bit and go from putting out fires to being proactive, it is going to take a fair bit of extra effort and energy. I'm not going to deny that, but the payoff is worth it, I promise. What you want to do is you want to proactively, a couple times during the shift, go out and check in on your team. Now, at first, that sounds like, when the principal came into your classroom and everybody suddenly stood up really straight and the teacher made sure they made no mistakes. It's going to feel like that because if you're not used to doing it and your team isn't used to you doing it, they're going to think something's wrong. We're getting in trouble. What's going on here? Why is the leader kind of out and about looking at us? But rest assured, there's a couple pieces here. Rest assured that with regularity and continuity and frequency, they're going to see that this is just the norm. And once you've done it for even a couple days, a couple weeks, or a couple months, you're going to have a new member join your team and realize that this is just the way things are, and it's a good thing. The second part, though, is I would be upfront and proactive and communicate to your team that you want to have more face time and more proactive face time with them. So let them know I'm going to be trying to make the rounds more regularly so that if you have a question or a comment, a concern you want to bring up, you can find me pretty regularly rather than always having to come to me, during the shift when there's a problem. Now, if this is sounding a little bit familiar and you're a longtime fan of our channel, as I'm sure so many are, then you might remember Leadership Tip 61, which was all about what we call the leadership trap. Ha! And it's really all about saying that instead of the reactive approach where the team members only come to you when they have a problem or that's the only time that you have face time with your employees, instead you're proactively circling around to each team member a couple times on the shift and checking in with them and saying, how's it going? Do you have any questions? Anything coming up that I can help you with? And all of that gets answered in a more proactive way. It also allows you as a leader to have a little bit more flexibility and a little bit more free time. I'm not saying 8 hours of free time, but a few minutes here and there because you're proactively reaching out. So you're sort of setting the schedule instead of it being the other way around and them coming to you every time there's a problem or an issue. So in summary, you can make a little bit more free time for yourself and a little bit more time to be proactive simply by going and proactively checking in with your team rather than waiting for them to come to you with problems, questions, and issues. Like and follow for more practical leadership tips.